guys? Before I start this video, I want to show you a little physique update. I took this physique update within the first week of my cut, and I'm weighing 86.5 kilograms right here. So let me show you. Alright, so as you see, looking pretty thick from the front. Still got the abs a little bit visible, so this clean bulk went pretty well. You can still see some separations and stuff, so I'm pretty happy with that. I forgot actually to flex my back without the shirt, so did it with the tank top on, and you can see I got some decent mass there as well. Just really happy with the way this clean bulk went, and it's time to get really shredded because I'm definitely a little bit fat now. Alright, so a lot of you guys have been asking me what the ketogenic diet actually is. Some people were like, what the fuck is that CKD diet, that Cyclical Ketogenic Diet? And the terms sound pretty weird. I had never heard of the Cyclical Ketogenic Diet about half a year ago. But I tried it out in my latest cut, but just a few weeks, and this time I tried it out from the beginning. What a ketogenic diet basically is a high-fat diet with moderate protein and zero carbs. Only carbs from vegetables. And therefore it trains your body's metabolism to run off of fatty acids. Ketone bodies is what they are called, because those fatty acids will be turned into ketone bodies, and those will be used for energy instead of glucose that you normally use from carbohydrates. Some studies show that it improves insulin sensitivity, it reduces inflammation, and some studies show that the keto adaptation, so when you're adapted to using fat as an energy source, will actually improve the ability to utilize protein. And that's one of the reasons that you also consume a little bit less protein on keto, because it will be used more effectively. But also, protein can be turned into glucose. So a very important thing when you're doing keto is that you don't go with a high protein approach and also high fat and very low carbs. No, you want to keep the fats even higher and the protein just as minimal as possible. If you consume too much protein for your body will actually use that protein as a source of energy, and that process is so goddamn ineffective that it doesn't make sense as a natural to consume a lot of protein. Because if you're enhanced, you can consume more protein and the protein can be used, but as a natural, you can only absorb so much protein, which is not a lot, to be honest. For most people, it'll be 150 grams maximum. If you have a little more muscle, like I do, you can get away with a little more protein. And obviously, if you eat a little too much protein, it's not that bad. I mean, it will be used as glucose, but your carbs are probably so low so that you can get a little bit of that glucose and still stay keto adapted. But it's definitely not optimal to go with an approach with like 200 grams of protein unless you have so much muscle mass. So the amount of protein you want to take in is 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. So not body weight, that's not relevant because you want to look at how much muscle you have. Body weight would mean that somebody with a lot of fat would consume the same amount of protein as somebody with way more muscle and less fat. And that obviously doesn't make sense because you got to feed that muscle and not that fat. So is the ketogenic diet something that will boost fat loss greatly? No. There is no diet in this world that will suddenly shred off all the fat within you in a couple of weeks. That doesn't work. It's all about a caloric deficit, which means consuming less calories than your body needs. So if my maintenance calories would be 3,000 calories for if I train 5 times a week, and I would consume 3,000 calories every day, I would stay exactly the same. Okay, I would not build muscle and not lose fat, or maybe a little bit, but not in a great way. And if I would take 500 calories off of that, if I would eat 2,500 calories, I will lose weight. That's how simple it is. And whether you stick to a high carb approach, which I also recommend, or a high fat approach, it doesn't really matter in terms of benefits of fat loss. You will lose fat in both ways. If you keep eating carbs, you will just hold more water. So the main benefit about keto for me is the hunger suppression and the great energy levels. If I eat carbs, I want to eat 500 to 600 grams of carbs a day because that's when I'm bulking, and that's how I feel good. But if I can only consume 200, maybe 300 grams of carbs, I feel like pretty much like crap. And that's also because the blood sugar spikes. They will make me feel like crap throughout the day. And when you eat in a keto style manner, I don't experience none of that. I'm energetic throughout the whole day. And I'm a hungry ass motherfucker, okay? So that's my biggest problem is that I'm a hungry ass motherfucker. So when I only get to eat 200, 300 grams of carbs, I go to bed not satisfied at all. I get crazy carb cravings, okay? When I can only eat 200, 300 grams of carbs, I get crazy carb cravings. And when you're keto adapted, those carb cravings will go away, okay? They will truly go away. You will have no problem with not eating carbs. And it sounds crazy at first, but once you're adapted, you will feel that it is actually true. So I don't recommend a ketogenic diet for everyone, and I personally don't think it is an optimal way of dieting for a long period of time or a lifestyle. There are a lot of people who do believe in that, but I personally don't. When we were hunters, that's so long ago, and then we only used to eat nuts and meat, right? Proteins and fats. But we started eating carbs thousands of years ago, and I mean, the human body can adapt in a great way, so we actually did. And I think that nowadays carbs are just very important because we adapted to really utilizing those carbs. And therefore for bulking, I definitely don't recommend keto, but I think it's a great tool for fat loss in terms of energy and hunger suppression. So that's the reason I do it, guys. So now I talk about keto, but the cyclical ketogenic diet is a little bit different than the regular ketogenic diet. The cyclical ketogenic diet is basically for people into fitness, bodybuilding, that lift weights, and so you refeed every weekend with carbs. So you will refill those glycogen storages every single weekend. Okay, so just the first 2 weeks you want to stay in a ketosis. You don't want to refeed to get into ketosis. Because also after the first refeed you will get into ketosis a little bit quicker afterwards. Yeah, so that's basically the difference. I'll talk about the carb up a little bit more when I have that day. I'll show you guys what I eat and stuff. But you basically eat a freak load of carbs on that day to refill your glycogen and to have that throughout the week a little bit. And then the next week you refeed again. So it seems to work in a very great manner for me. I love it, and I'm going to keep doing it for the next couple weeks. So I hope I explained it in a little bit of an easy manner. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Peace out, guys.